Hello, I'm Steve Lusk with the Red Bank Church of Christ. It's Monday, November the 9th, 2020, and I'm here to share with you another in our series of His Life devotionals from our His Life devotional book. The goal of this particular devotional book is to walk us through events and circumstances in the life of Jesus so that our lives can become more like His life. I learned a poem many years ago that goes something like this. It's not what you would do with millions if millions would be your lot, but what are you doing with $1.25 you got? Now, that may not be a beautifully crafted poem, but it certainly has a powerful message, doesn't it? What are we doing with the gifts that we have, with the blessings that we have? This week in our His Life series, we're looking at the so-called Passion Week of Jesus, that week leading up to his ultimate crucifixion and burial before he was resurrected on the first day of the week, the following week. And today we're going to look at an incident that occurs at Bethany. There was Mary and Lazarus there. Lazarus, the same one that Jesus had raised from the dead back in John chapter 11. And John 12 records this particular incident in the life of Jesus. 6 days before the Passover, Jesus therefore came to Bethany, where Lazarus was, whom Jesus had raised from the dead. So they gave a dinner for him there. Martha served, and Lazarus was one of those reclining with him at table. Mary, therefore, took a pound of expensive ointment made from pure nard and anointed the feet of Jesus and wiped his feet with her hair. The house was filled with the fragrance of the perfume. But Judas Iscariot, one of the disciples, he who was about to betray him, said, "Why was this ointment not sold for 300 denarii and given to the poor?" He said this not because he cared about the poor, but because he was a thief, and having charge of the money bag, he used to help himself to what was put into it. Jesus said, "Leave her alone, so that she may keep it for the day of my burial. For the poor you always have with you, but you do not always have me." You know, Mary does really a remarkable, almost astonishing, some would even say foolhardy thing for Jesus. She takes this expensive ointment, which was apparently worth about a year's salary for a working person, very expensive. So when it says this ointment was perfume, expensive ointment, then that's true. Imagine if you owned something that was worth about a year's worth of your salary. That would be considered probably something of great value. She takes this and she pours it on Jesus. She anoints his feet. She wipes his feet with her hair. There's another incident that Mark records, may or may not be the exact same incident, where something similar happens. We won't get into the details of that, but nonetheless, Mary does this and extends her love and affection and servant heart to Jesus. I think it's a powerful, powerful thing. It's interesting to me that, and we're going to look at this later in the week, but it's interesting to me that she washes Jesus' feet with this ointment, so to speak, and later Jesus takes a towel and a basin of water and washes his disciples' feet. This attitude of service is certainly one that Mary has. Now, Martha has this attitude of service too. Martha is serving the food. She seems to be more concerned about those kinds of things, and that was important. That was necessary. But Mary pours this out on Jesus, expressing her adoration, her love, her affection for Jesus. As might be expected, even in our day, there was criticism. Judas Iscariot is particularly pointed out as the one who criticized Mary for this extravagant gift. He says that this could have been sold for a tremendous sum and the proceeds of that sale given to the poor. And of course, John understands that Judas didn't do this because he was really concerned for the poor. He was simply the one who was the treasurer, apparently, for the group of disciples that followed Jesus around. And he occasionally would dip into that till and take advantage of that for himself. We know that later this very same week, Judas demonstrates his greed by taking 30 pieces of silver for the opportunity to betray Jesus into the hands of those Jewish leaders who wanted to crucify him. So the contrast here is between one who is concerned about every penny, not for any good reason, but for his own selfish reasons, and one who simply is concerned about expressing love and appreciation and gratitude, sacrifice for Jesus Christ. So again, I ask, what are you and I doing with $1.25 we've got? It's interesting to think about what we would do if we had millions. Oh, if I had millions, I would donate to this Christian school. I would support this or these missionaries in different places around the world. I would do this or that great thing with the millions that I would have. But the real question is not what would we do if we had something, but what are we doing with what we have? So as we begin this look at Jesus' so-called Passion Week, the week before he was betrayed and crucified, then let's ask ourselves the question, are we using what we have to serve, to honor, to adore, to appreciate, to express praise to Jesus? Or are we being critical for what others might be doing, what others might be giving, whether it be great or small? It's easy to fall on either end of that spectrum, great or small, in terms of our criticism. Well, we hope that this look at the life of Jesus, this little glimpse into his life, will be able to encourage you to think about your life in reflection to Jesus. Because you think about it, Jesus gave the most extravagant gift that he could ever give, that anyone could ever give. He gave his life for each of us. And he did that not just so that he could say, look at this magnificent thing I've done. Certainly that wasn't Mary's motivation, but he did that because he loved us. He wanted to show his affection for us by the giving of his life so that we could have hope of eternal life. If you'd like to know more about that eternal life that Jesus offers, that Jesus sacrificed to make available to us, then please get in touch with us at the Red Bank Church of Christ. Contact us through our website, www.redbankchurchofchrist.com, or give us a call here at the church building. Reach out to us and we'll do all we can to help you, to encourage you. Maybe we can pray for you. Maybe there's a Bible question that you have, something that we can do to help you. Please let us know, because we want to do that. We want to model our lives after his life, and that's our prayer for you. Thank you so much for joining today, and I hope and pray that you will have a blessed and wonderful day.